There you go. See that little momentary battery light? So that's what I'm going to try to fix with a different tensioner. Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you how to save a whole lot of money on a part that needs to be OEM. So what we have here is the belt tensioner, serpentine belt tensioner for my 2003 Honda Accord with the V6. Okay, so I showed you in the opening of the video the flickering battery light. As I was either accelerating or coming off the gas, it would flicker. That's signifying and showing that the spring in here has lost its proper tension and is no longer keeping the belt tight enough. Okay, so this is a part that really needs to be OEM. You've heard me say that about different parts on this channel. Here's what happened to me several years ago. My belt tensioner went bad, and so I thought, well, I'm just going to go to the parts store, get whatever they've got, and put it on here. So I went to Advance, got their belt tensioner, installed it, and very shortly after I installed it, you know, within a day or two, or maybe even instantly, it started rattling. With the engine running, you could actually see the pulley bouncing, and it was just rattling. So took it back, thought it was a bad part, warrantied it out, got another part, got another belt tensioner, put that on there. I went through 3 of them with Advance, and so finally after the 3rd one, I decided to switch to AutoZone. So I went to there, they had a Dayco one. Dayco's a decent brand for belts and components and stuff like that. Put that on, same thing. So I thought, well, maybe a bad part, try another one. Went through 2 of those, same result. Like I said, either instantly or very shortly after installing, within a day or two, it was back to rattling again. So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go get an OEM one. Well, OEM, this part brand new is over $300. So I thought, well, let me go to my local pull part and get one off the car out there, and I'll just put different pulleys on there. And that's what I did. And so that's the one that's actually in here right now. That's been on there for several 100,000 miles, and it's just now going bad. All right. Decided to do the same thing this time. Went to my local pull part, found an Accord V6, 7th gen, pulled this thing off. Now, for whatever reason, they wanted their idler pulley, as they asked if I could bring back a pulley as a core, and I was like, you can take the pulley right now because I don't want it. I'm going to put new pulleys on there. So as you can see, it's been in the weather, got some rust there on the tensioner pulley, stuff like that, but I've got brand new pulleys I'm going to put on there. So I'm going to clean this thing up and put these new pulleys on there, and should be good to go. Alright, so I got these from Rock Auto. Well, before I move on, so this thing cost me less than $24 at my local pull part. Okay, so keep that in mind. So remember, I said these things brand new from Honda are over $300 right now. So this is less than $24. And then these 2 pulleys from Rock Auto. So the Continental is the idler pulley. There's the part number for it. Once again, this is on the 7th gen Accord V6. The 4 cylinders are a little bit different with the design. And then there's a Gates pulley. There's part number for that. And so that's going to be the tensioner pulley. So you can tell from the design, a little bit different look to them. All right. But the 2 pulleys from Rock Auto, about $50 plus tax, shipping, and that thing was $24. So well less than $100, and I'm going to have, you know, essentially a brand new tensioner. Yeah, I know this thing's not new, but that spring in there is pretty beefy, and so I'm not anticipating any problems with it. So I'm just going to get it cleaned up, get the pulleys on there, and then we'll get it put on the car. All right, gave it a good cleaning. It's a whole lot better now. You can still see the paint pen mark from the junkyard. All right, so a couple things on here that are going to point towards it being an OEM unit. One's going to be these hat washers here. A lot of your aftermarket pulleys and tensioners are just going to have like a flat washer that goes in there to seal from the bolt, but these have these hat washers, so there's both of those. Another is where the spring is. It's got like this rectangle cutout. You see the bottom of the spring is flat there, so that's indicative of the quality that they had from the OEM supplier, which I believe was Lightens for this one. Okay. we're going to go ahead and get the pulleys on here and get this put on. Now, one thing I wanted to point out is that when this goes on the car, it's going to sit like this on the engine. So you got that little bolt underneath there. So that little bolt is going to go into the block as well as this bolt. And then the tensioner pulley bolt is just right here. Okay, now this one is special. This one is reverse thread. So normally righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, this is the exact opposite. Okay, so you're going to have to go left to tighten it. That's because when you go to remove the belt, you're going to put the wrench on there on the tensioner pulley, and you're going to rotate it counterclockwise towards the firewall, which is going to be so lefty-tighty in this case. Okay, so we'll get that put on. We'll get the other tensioner off there, and then get ready to get this put on the car. All right, so I've got my 14mm offset wrench on the tensioner pulley. And like I said, I'm going to take this and rotate it towards the firewall, and that's going to loosen the belt. And as I do that, I'm going to pop the belt off the power steering pump here. Okay. And then something else I did prior to doing this was power steering fluid reservoir usually goes right there on that, and you just simply lift it up and you can move it out of the way. It gives you more room to work with. Alright, so now that the belt's loose, we're going to go ahead and take loose the bolt through the idler pulley in the middle, and then the little 12mm bolt at the bottom there that go into the block, and we'll get that tensioner off. Now make note of your belt routing before you pull it off. And you have some pulleys like the power steering pulley and the alternator pulley that have the little ribs on them, so the rib part of the belt's going to touch that. You have other pulleys like the two on the tensioner, the idler and tensioner pulleys, that are smooth, and so the back side of the belt, the smooth side, will go on that. So I'm going to start with the 12mm bolt, which is going to be down underneath there. Okay, there it is down in there. It's about the 7 o'clock position on the tensioner assembly. So you can see where the extension's sticking out. So I'm going to put the ratchet on there, remove that, and then I'll remove that bolt through the center of the idler pulley. Alright, now to get the idler pulley bolt off. There you have it. Alright, so I ran into an issue that I think I had last time as well, so I wanted to share that with you. For the tensioner pulley, when I put it on here, if I put it on with this hat, the OEM hat washer, remember it's left to tighten it. When it's loose, it spins, but if I tighten it down, it's stuck. It's not going to work with this washer on this with this pulley. So instead, I'm going to have to use the flat washer that came off of my other tensioner. So I know if the other OEM tensioner that I got before would have had this on there, and if it would have worked, I would have had that on there. I would have used that instead of this flat washer. But let me reinstall this. Okay, it's hand tight. Spins perfectly fine. So that's what I'm going to have to do for this. So if you run into a problem where you try to put this hat washer on there, if it doesn't work, you may find you have to put the flat washer on instead. I'm sure it probably has to do with the difference in how these were manufactured. This compared to the OEM pulley, maybe just slightly different. And then on the idler pulley right here, I can put the hat washer on there, the pulley still spins just fine. So I'll put the hat washer on that one, but I just wanted to share that if you have problems with it not wanting to spin once you tighten that down, then that's going to be your issue. You're going to have to put the flat washer in there. This is for the V6 only, for these torque values. Alright, your tensioner pulley right here is going to be 59 foot-pounds. The bolt through the center of the idler pulley that goes into the block is going to be 33 foot-pounds. And then the little 12 millimeter bolt down here that goes into the block is going to be 16 foot-pounds. So once again for the V6, 59, 33, 16. Like I said, the 4-cylinder is going to be a little bit different than this. I'll go ahead and torque that all the way down while it's on the car. Okay, so I got it in place. I'm just going to thread this in by hand as best I can. I'm going to take the 12 mil bolt, put that down here in the block. If you need to, you can pull off the right front wheel and lift up the inner fender liner, and you can get a little bit better view of where everything goes for this small bolt in the bottom. Okay. Getting that little one threaded into the block by hand now. Okay, I got torque wrench set to 33 foot-pounds. I'm going to torque the idler pulley. Okay. Little 12 millimeter bolt, 16 foot-pounds. You're going to be looking at 192 inch-pounds, so I'm using the 1/4 inch torque wrench because that's within the range. So let's torque that down now. Okay, and lastly, I can do, there's only the 3 bolts, I can do the tensioner pull. I'm going to do that to 59 foot-pounds now. There it is, there's the click. All 3 bolts are torqued down properly. Tensioner pulley spins properly. Idler pulley spins properly. Alright, now it's just a matter of rerouting the belt. Alright, so the belt is routed around the crank pulley back there, the AC compressor up here, comes over the top AC compressor, runs around the idler pulley. The bottom pulley of the tensioner we just put on goes over to the alternator. Around that is going to go up and around the power steering pulley, come back down, go around the tensioner pulley right here, and then it'll flow down to the crank pulley. So all that's left is for me to get the 14 mil back on here. I'm going to rotate it back towards the firewall to loosen the tension on it, and then I'll pop the belt back on the power steering pump. So that's the one I'd leave loose on this and then pop on there at the end. All right, let's give this a shot. Okay, went on fine. Okay, I wanted to point this out. I'm going to show you the belt indicator. So on the tensioner itself, it's hard to get the camera focused. There's that little line there, and then there's a raised portion over to about right there. I'll get that out of the way. There you go. And on the other part tensioner, there's a little line that's supposed to be between that line and the edge right there. So if it's a new belt, which I have on this car, just replaced the belt about 15,000 miles ago, the little line here should be over closer to that black line on the tensioner base. As the belt wears out and stretches, it's going to go further and further over, and then if that line goes over past that raised portion there, sorry about that, then that's going to indicate that you need to replace your belt. Alright, let's start it up. $1 million 136, 649 miles. Nice and quiet. There you go. No rattling. Pulleys sound good. Nice and quiet. Alright, so that's how you replace the belt tensioner. And then also, like I said, it's going to save you a lot of money compared to buying a brand new one OEM. So I did this for about a third of the price of a new OEM one. So I've got the good OEM spring tension. I've got brand new pulleys on there. So it's refreshed and ready to go for another several 100,000 miles. Alright, thanks for watching the video. See you on the next one.